Welcome to episode 15 of Barrels and Banter, sponsored by Flint Clothing. In this episode, we have a banging tale from Sarah, a firing line debate. Does the tight regulation on medical certification for firearms prevent people from going to the doctor about mental health issues? Our field notes and anecdotes, it's your turn to shoot, and we have confessions and questions. The first season with a young dog, expectation versus reality.
Hello.
Hello.
Back.
I hear that we're going to go straight in, and I hear that you have got a banging tale for us about your scope.
So I think it was a little while ago now, and I was putting my scope back on a 2.2. Can't remember why it wasn't on there. Maybe I changed rifles, not sure. Anyway, I got a friend of mine to put it on. I don't want to go too much into this. Yeah.
Can I just say that friend wasn't me before anyone then?
No, that wasn't Celine.
She does have other friends. Not many, but...
So this person put the scope on for me that I trusted impeccably with this because, you know, he's pretty good at this sort of thing. Chucked the scope on. That evening, I went out to zero it. Anyway, I'm plinking away at this target, and then the bullets just kept going off. So I thought, maybe it's the bullets. We'll try a different pack of bullets. Tried that pack of bullets. Bullets going everywhere. Could not work out what was going on. I then left Rich there while I drove home to get more brands of bullets. So went and picked up like another 5 brands of bullets.
So we're now absolutely invested in the fact that this 100% the bullets. It's not Sarah, it's not the rifle,
I dread to think how many bullets I went through in different brands. And we just could not get it right. Anyway, I go on to the next brand of bullets and I go to take a shot. And with that, my scope just fell off the rifle. I'm in absolute stitches, crying with laughter. And Richard's looking at me going, what's funny? Because he hadn't noticed. And I went, I think I found the problem. He went, what? And I went, look at the gun. He went, oh, fucking hell, where's your scope gone? I was like on the floor.
Oh, wow.
So this dear person, lovely friend of mine, he will be listening to this. He knows who he is. Should know better.
So every time you took a shot, it went... Blah,
yeah, so basically it just wasn't on properly. So that's
wow.
why. So the whole bloody scope fell off. So there's nothing wrong with the rifle. There was nothing wrong with the bullets. This absolute muppet hadn't tightened the rings properly onto the rifle. And I know what people are going to say. Oh, you should always double check. With this person, I should not have to double check. He knows better. Okay? I shouldn't have to second guess his work. So yeah, that was the problem. The bloody scope fell off. I've been out, honestly, I must have been out there over an hour.
Oh, and to be fair, I can just imagine your face and you getting proper eggy as well.
I
can imagine you
really
getting a bit
eggy.
like, I just can't understand why is it doing this? Well, I'm going to have to go get more bullets from home then. This
causing
is
a right domestic between me and Rick because we've got a difference of opinions. He's going, it's not the bullets. I'm going, it is the bullets. It can't be. Must be the rifle.
Is he thinking it's you?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's thinking it's you. You're knowing it's not you.
Yeah.
You're having an argument with each other.
Yeah. I'm saying it's the bullets. He's saying it's not the bullets. Then he has a go.
At least you got vindicated in the end.
Yeah, a lot of bullets late anyway, but that's the problem. So I then put the scope back on my rifle. And funnily enough, it has stayed on there ever since.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, you shouldn't be such a girl about it and you should do it yourself.
Well, I was busy.
If you want a job done well, Sarah.
Well, you know, I'm doing stuff. I have people to do that for me now.
Oh my God, yes.
I have people that do these things for me.
Minion. Put that scope on my rifle, Minion.
Yes.
Minion now, Minion.
Exactly.
Do it better, Minion.
Yes. Never again.
Our firing line debate this week is a really interesting one, and it is, does the tight regulations on medical certification for firearms prevent people from going to the doctor about mental health issues? And really interestingly, not long ago, I had an email come into our email. I don't think I've read this to you actually yet, Sarah.
An email come into our email?
Yeah.
Never. I thought it might have come through the post.
No, it didn't. This one actually came
email
into
to
our
an
email. Yeah.
Wow.
barrelsandbanter@gmail.com. Oh, quick plug.
Shameless.
But this came through and I thought to myself, actually, we were already going to talk about this. And I think this is a really interesting point. So I'll read what this person says first and then we can discuss. Okay. He says, I wanted to write in about something that doesn't get talked about nearly enough in the shooting community, mental health, and the myths surrounding applying for, renewing, or being open about your well-being, when it comes to a shotgun certificate. There's still an old-fashioned belief floating around that if you've ever struggled, sought help, or had a period of stress, you're somehow disqualified from responsible gun ownership. In reality, that stigma does far more harm than good. It discourages honesty. It isolates people and it paints an inaccurate picture of what the licensing system is actually looking for. What often gets missed is the positive impact shooting has on mental health. Something backed up by poor research. Bask highlighted scientific findings showing that involvement in shooting, including clays, beating, picking up, and other field activities, significantly boosts social, mental, and physical well-being. Participants reported higher mental well-being scores than the national average, with benefits including reduced loneliness, a stronger sense of identity and purpose, time outdoors, physical activity, and supportive social networks. For many of us, that rings true. Shooting gives structure, focus, discipline, and a community, all things that support good mental health. It's one of the few environments where people of all ages mix, look out for each other, and share something meaningful. That's why the myths around mental health and licensing need challenging. The Home Office guidance is clear that mental health history isn't an automatic... Oh my golly. I'll just go back on that bit.
Please
the
do.
Home Office...
Whoa. Hang on.
I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. She need to just maintain it for one more paragraph. Deep breath.
She's malfunctioning, everyone.
And continue. The Home Office guidance is clear that mental health history isn't an automatic barrier. What matters is stability, honesty, and responsible behaviour. Yet the fear of being judged or misunderstood still stops people from speaking openly, even though openness is exactly what the system encourages. I think it would be great to hear more conversations on your podcast about this, not just the challenges, but the well-evidenced benefits shooting brings to well-being and how we can create a culture where shooters feel able to be honest without worrying that it will be held against them. Wow. I mean, you pretty much wrapped it up, my friend.
Yeah. Pod over.
Thanks,
Done it all
job
for
done.
us. Yeah.
I think it was something we were already going to talk about. We've got a long list of things that people have written in that we've thought about ourselves, and I think that was an incredibly well-written, good email. Really interesting, and some bits that I hadn't ever thought of about either, about the fact that, you know, it does bring a sense of community and all those other things. It's interesting because I will be entirely honest, it's not something that I've ever suffered with and needed to seek help for. But if I did, my first thought would be, what about my certificate?
Yeah.
And that's funny because I think it is a prejudice. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's really difficult. And I think a lot of people are struggling, but worry to say something. I do agree. I think it depends on what you're struggling. You know, there's so many different mental health problems out there, different issues. You know, let's just say you're bogged down with work and you're just really stressed about it at the minute. You know, you're really struggling day to day. That doesn't necessarily mean that you've ever had thoughts of taking your own life or someone else's life. You're just really bloody stressed at the minute. You've got people that struggle with anxiety. Now, that anxiety could be they don't like going in big social spaces. Going to the Tesco shop stresses them out because there's too many people in there, and that gives them anxiety.
Yeah.
Again, that doesn't mean they've ever had thoughts.
Have any relation to having a certificate.
Yeah, so I think it is a bit of a minefield. I can see it from both sides. You've got to see from licensing's point of view, where is the line? And how much can you trust somebody with mental health problems of what they're saying? Because let's be honest, some people with severe mental health problems are massively in denial, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it is a really tricky... I mean, I 100% agree. I mean, how often do we say, oh my God, I've had such a stressful week. I can't wait to go out shooting. Like, let's go out shooting. Like, we just need to get out and be in the field and forget about everything else. And then we do come back feeling so much better. That is our scapegoat, isn't it? That's our way of just chilling out. And
I think it's a really interesting one, actually. After my brother died, we spent a lot more time going out stalking. I probably got into it more then. And it is weirdly, what's the word for it?
Tranquil?
No, what's that word?
Oh, there's no point asking me for
words. Yeah, the word when you are mindful. Really mindful. The whole mindfulness, where you basically get rid of everything in your brain.
Yeah.
And you're only thinking about one thing, aren't you, effectively?
And I've always said that. It's the one time that you are so focused because you don't want to mess that shot up. You want it to go well. You want it to...
But even if it's not at the point of the shot and you're just walking around, all you're thinking is that a deer? What's that a deer?
Yeah.
Did that look like something? I wonder what's out there. Maybe I should go this route. Should I go that route? It's the same with fishing, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So I find that you're sat there and you're thinking, maybe I should try a different rig. Should I try a different bait? Should I put it there? What if I did this? Maybe I could try. I'm not thinking about the list of jobs that I've got to do.
Yeah.
The, history with my brother or whatever it may be. And you are completely switched off in that moment. But that moment could be like 2 or 3 hours because it's very easy to while away an evening or an afternoon doing these things. So, yeah, absolutely.
It's my go-to of like, I just want to avoid life for a bit. There's so much in my brain. I just want to, like you say, just focus it. But it is a really tricky one. I mean, how do you say that person's okay, but that person isn't? I think it does need a doctor's assessment.
Yes.
And I do think, if the doctor is happy to back you and say, well, this person is just stressed with work at the moment. They've given me no concerns of taking their own life or somebody else's. They're just struggling a little bit,
Yeah, they show no danger to themselves or others.
Yeah.
And like you say, it might just be that they've got anxiety in certain situations. It might be that they've got other things. But then obviously you do have your other end of the spectrum with very severe mental health issues. But to be honest, I would have thought in a lot of those cases, those people would appreciate that actually they're probably not in a great place to have a firearm. You see it sometimes on these groups where someone says, I'm going to go to the doctor and I'm going to do such and such. What do I need to do to offload my guns to a shop? How do I, is there anyone that could take this for me? And that's not even necessarily a take it for me forever.
No, just for now.
Could you take it for me for now? Yeah, there may have been a death in the family or something incredibly stressful might have happened. But that doesn't mean that in another couple of years' time, they're still going to be in that same position.
No, not at all.
Because something can be caused by a trigger and that trigger can have a limited effect in terms of time on that person.
And I also think as well, it doesn't help. So there's been a lot of situations where people don't have any mental health issues or any problems. And then all of a sudden they found themselves going through a divorce or a death in the family. Licensing get wind of it and they have taken people's licenses off them temporarily and gone, we're going to take this off you because you're going through a divorce. It could be a bit tricky for you. They haven't even said, oh, hang on, I'm struggling. They've just gone, this could be a problem. Well, then that doesn't help. Someone's life might have just shattered. I don't know. The wife's just upped and left for no reason. And now you're taking away that one thing that could potentially keep them going, keep their mind in the game,
This chap says, the social network.
Yes, because get them out there, keep them around people so they feel supported. However, I do see the other end of licensing. Sometimes, and people might think I'm wrong for saying this, but I work quite closely with licensing. Sometimes I think they're damned if they do and they're damned if they don't.
Yeah.
If they don't take that person's gun off them and something happens, who's the first people that's going to get it in the neck? Licensing. Well, you did nothing about it. Surely you knew that guy was going through a divorce and he's probably stressed. Why did you not take his guns off him? So I feel like sometimes they can't win. But it's that fine line. How do you choose which is the right option? I don't think there is a good or a bad option sometimes.
No, but then I think that's when it comes in the medical element. That if you present yourself to your doctor and you explain, why am I in this situation? Or you try and identify with the doctor. You may not be able to identify it yourself, but you go through a process of identifying, why do I feel like this? What are my triggers? What are the causes?
Yeah.
How exactly am I feeling? And then sometimes that will be for the doctor to make that decision. And most likely, in a lot of those situations, the people that are particularly umming and ahhing, because those that are really severe, the decision's kind of taken out of their hands. But those that are on that borderline, should I put my head above the parapet, actually probably going to be told by the doctor that they're fine to carry on doing what they're doing, but that they may need a small amount of medication, or they might need some counselling, or they might need to just keep in touch with them. It doesn't become a be all and end all.
A little bit of support. The end of it. And I don't know how it works with doctors because I haven't personally been through it, but I wonder how supportive doctors are, because that's the other end of it. Are doctors willing to have it on their head as such? So you go to the doctors, you mentioned you got firearms, I'm a bit concerned about it. Are they going to take a back step and go, oh, hang on? Mine
flags up on the system. As soon as I sit in that chair, there's a red box in the corner and it says holds a firearm certificate.
I've never noticed
that. Every time when I sit in and you can see that you're like, when you go sit in the doctor's chair and there's your notes up there and it's in a red box in the corner and it says holds a firearms licence. Yeah.
But
And
I wonder if
imagine
they're
that
willing to, you know, is there going to be circumstances where the doctor go, oh, actually, maybe we should report it to licensing because I don't want this on my head either. Do you know what I mean? I wonder how...
Yeah, but there must then be a parameter in which they make those decisions, because you're going to get your overcautious doctor and you're going to get your probably slightly more blasé doctor, which is why they then fill in these forms that go on to licensing that then probably go through. I don't know. But it'd be interesting to hear other people's thoughts. Have you put your head above the parapet and it's gone well? Have you put your head above the parapet and it hasn't? Or does it make you question whether you should go? And how do you feel shooting has a positive or maybe negative effect, but I doubt negative, on your mental health and well-being? Because it is a really of the now interesting conversation. I think people are much more open about talking about these things now.
Which is brilliant. But it is sad to think there's probably a lot of people suffering in silence that I think then can go from a small problem to, I'm just a little bit stressed at the moment, to a bigger problem that could go the other way because they're too scared to speak up because they don't want to lose their licence.
But also...
So perhaps that is actually causing more problems.
Some of those smaller issues only require something small to help fix them. I mean, you know, mental health is not a quick fix, obviously. But it might just be that actually they just needed to do a bit of bereavement counselling, or they just needed to go and meet some other people that had similar anxiety and learn some coping strategies. Those things are not going to directly affect you having a license and a gun.
No.
But they could potentially turn everything around for you quite quickly if you do just go and say, actually, do you know what? I think I need a tiny bit of help with this one.
I have noticed, I don't know if you've seen Aidan Brown.
Yeah.
He's put a little thing together where he's created a bit of a group for people to go to and talk about mental health problems, you know, like-minded people, licence holders, to all go and do a shoot together and just discuss previous struggles, what they're going through, just a bit of a come together, which I think is quite a good thing. It's, you know, open-minded, like-minded people.
Yeah, I think that is definitely. And I think the more it becomes mainstream, the less people fear.
Yes.
Because when it's all held down and people aren't talking about it, that's actually probably when it gets worse.
Yeah.
Then if you can just discuss it, sometimes it's the old adage, a problem shared is a problem halved.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's so true. And if you can get some help, then, you know.
Go and get it.
Yeah, definitely. Field notes and anecdotes this week. Sarah, you've been crazy busy.
No, I haven't. Sarah has been taking a back seat. I have been so ill. So ill. So I've not been out shooting. I've not really been posting much, which is stressing me out slightly because I feel a bit behind on everything. But I have actually just had to take a bit of a back seat and go, I'm out.
Man down, people, man down.
Man down. I think I had what was potentially food poisoning, and my God, was I ill.
She's not coming anywhere near me if anyone's worried.
No, I actually just had to stay in bed. I didn't get up. I didn't get dressed. I didn't do anything. I didn't eat. It's been a fabulous diet. Hope everyone noticed how slim I'm looking. Probably not. But yeah, so I don't have a lot to report because I have been down in the dump. So you're going to have to take the lead on this one.
I thought that I would talk about something that happened probably about a month ago, which has tickled me. And I've had a few recently. And do you know what? I'm just going for it. We were talking the other day about comments on Facebook and responding to them and bite backs and stuff.
Have you been a bitch?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Wow.
So I had a chap that commented on one of our posts, and he basically commented 3 out of 10 and 8 out of 10, but I wouldn't do either. Now, listen, mate, I don't think either of us were even offering. It got my goat because I just thought, do you know what? You don't know us. That's a really crass thing to say. And I'm no raging feminist, but I do also think that we should try and set an example for our kids. And his profile picture was him with, I can't remember if it was definitely 2 children, might have been 3. One of them was a daughter, and she was quite young. And I thought, wow, can you imagine if your dad made a comment like that online? I mean,
yeah.
And if he's made that comment to us, I don't imagine it's an isolated case. Not many people just randomly make a comment that they wouldn't normally make with no previous and no future.
And how would he feel if a man was commenting that on his daughter's post when she's older?
So I screenshot it and I sent it to his wife.
Oh, wow.
And I basically said, I just thought you might like to know. And I posted it also on my story, just to let everyone know that he was a bit of a bellend. And his wife basically came back and quite rightly said, I'd really like it if you did take it down from your story, which granted, I did do. Because she said, it has got the picture of our daughter in. And I said, well, yes, because that's his profile picture. However, his profile picture is also associated with the comment on our page. Well, very quickly, that got deleted and I got blocked by him.
Yeah.
However, she continued the conversation and basically, I'm going to say I reckon he was sleeping on the sofa that night.
You reckon his profile was actually deleted as well?
Oh, his profile disappeared completely.
It wasn't just that we were blocked.
No, because then I went on, didn't I? And I was like, right, Sarah, can you go and have a quick look? Can you go and have a quick look?
And let's just say we're not spies, but we have many profiles. I've got a few through my business work and other things that I do outside of this. So I could have a cheeky little look on another profile that he would have no idea about. It was gone.
Yeah. But basically, the moral of the story is don't be a twat.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, don't be a twat.
Do you know what's my life motto? Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Any problem in life can be solved if you just don't be a dick.
Well, I got a message from someone that basically said, oh my God, I love your comeback on this. Because somebody else just put, well, that was a bit shit. And I just replied with, oh, it's incredibly lovely to have you here. I just feel that your joy and your shine and sparkle is radiant and infectious on this page. Thank you for being here. We welcome you or something. Because it's just like...
Can you imagine, though, if we went for a bloke's profile and put like, nah, 3 out of 10 for me, mate, wouldn't do you? Can you imagine?
Or can you imagine in real life walking past someone doing something and just go, that's a bit shit?
Yeah. But like, what makes him think we would want to do him? He could have been a 2 out of 10 for us, but we wouldn't make a thing up about it, would we?
Why would you post that anyway? It's just cringy and weird.
He's obviously not seen me since my food poisoning diet. He might rate me a bit higher now. Do you remember the one as well? Sorry, just going on a tangent.
Right, carry on.
Someone that said, oh, it's like 2 heavy horses.
Yes. And to be fair, I was wearing good leggings in that. I think we both looked all right there.
I mean, neither of us are any size 6, but I'm going to put it out there. No, come on. But neither of us are overweight, I wouldn't say.
No.
We're not overweight by any means.
Normal people doing normal things.
Yeah,
being
heavy
normal.
horses. Like, in your opinion, what size should I be? Like, I wear a size 10. How... That's not overweight to me.
No.
So, sorry, should I be a size 6? Because I hate to break it to you, but...
Yeah, but then he'd probably slag you off about something else because some people are
this is it.
Just
too thin, too fat,
knobby.
Too ugly,
too short,
pretty,
too tall.
Too stubbier fingers.
I think basically. If you didn't hear that bit, because it may well get cut at the beginning, it's in
I've
part of the reel.
discovered that Slim's got really tiny fingers.
My hands
That's somewhat of a toddler.
They stop at one of Sarah's knuckles. I mean,
here we go. Here's a comparison.
Well, they can't really do a comparison on...
Well, look, you can...
Yes, but they can't see because it's a
but
podcast,
they might see
Sarah.
it in the short that we put out. Anyway, moral of the story is 1, don't be a dick. 2, don't be a pig. 3, don't catch Celine when it's potentially that time of the month because she will come for you.
I'm in there.
She will come for you.
I don't think it's that time of the month, to be fair. I think I'm just not really up for all of that bullshit. Yeah.
So go steady because we might come for your wives, who will then come for you. Flint Clothing are a British hunting-inspired casual wear brand designed to bridge the gap between the field and everyday life. They create garments using organic and recycled cotton, built for durability and stress-tested in the field. A brand with lower impact on the land we hunt, leaving it a better place for the people and quarry that come tomorrow. It's casual wear for those who live it, from early starts through to the long days and everything after. Every design is shaped by our own experience in the wild, inspired by British species and the reality of putting ethical food on the table. Wear your story. My personal favourite is they've got a UK 6 deer species design. They can do hoodies and t-shirts in it, and it's absolutely stunning, and the quality of all their clothing is really good as well.
It's your turn to shoot, and we have brought back our ever-popular drive names.
We've got some beauties.
Go on then.
Here we go. So, we had one at the top of a hill nicknamed Cardiac Arrest.
Well, to be fair, I can imagine that
Your
based
whole
on our
shoot
shoot.
should be called cardiac
Yeah.
arrest. Scrap Lambert's Castle, just call it cardiac arrest.
There's
shoot
some
day.
of those where we admire the view multiple
do.
times. Oh, hang on a minute. Was there a sheep missing in that field? We must just stop for 15 minutes to count them.
I do think I'm going to die someday, so that's a good one, cardiac arrest.
Quite a few years ago, I was on a shoot and I was walking up this hill. Oh my God, it was a bitch of a hill. And I stopped chatting with a friend. Doing the whole admire the view thing. This lady, 100% she's over 70, goes, "Oh, girls, don't worry. You just keep going. You don't need to wait for me." And we're like,
You're like, yeah, we're not.
We're not waiting for you, love.
Just dying slowly.
we're just like... And then, what did she do? Walked straight past us. I honestly thought she was going to stop and chat with us and admire the view. Just carried on.
We've got that on your shoot though, haven't we, Dennis?
Yeah, it's actually not acceptable.
Embarrassing.
It's not acceptable.
He's like well older than us.
Yeah.
And he just storms to the top of the hill without even getting out of breath
going.
while we're dying on the floor.
And then he gets to the top and I'm like, why are you not huffing and puffing, Dennis? Huff and puff.
Our favourite thing on a shoot day, actually, sorry, we're going on a tangent again, is to say to anyone else that's picking up, could you just look tired, please? Could you just start puffing to
Mark
make us
does a
feel
good
better?
one of those where he kind of bends over double and pretends that he's got to have his hands on his knees.
Yeah, we're
and
like, Mark, look tired. He's like, okay.
And Fred in his old lollopy long legs straight up that bleeding hill.
It's just
not
us.
on.
Next one, not a drive, but a local farmer named his ditch the Elf Ditch. As one Christmas, I took clients out goose shooting in the ditch dressed as one of Santa's elves. As you do.
That sounds like us. I'm all for that. We love a costume.
Next one, on a forestry shoot, the leg breaker. A section of clearfell full of hidden holes covered in weeds and brambles, which resulted in many beaters tripping, falling, and often landing in water. Luckily, no actual broken legs. But we had a dislocated shoulder one day. The newly cleared section next to it was even more rough, with muddy gullies, deep trenches, and what looked like bomb holes. One day we turned up to the shoot and found a film crew there. We asked what they were filming and they said a music video with war theme.
Oh, wow.
With a war theme, as it looked like the song. So it was what we named it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a gauntlet. I'm not sure that's beating. I think that's just survival.
That's just it's like Bear Grylls or something.
I've got a couple for you. I've got a drive name for you from somebody, and it says, on one of the shoots I'm on, they had a drive called Joe's Dump. No, it isn't a reference to a tip. Joe is one of the beaters, and during one particularly cold and wet winter, everyone lined out ready to start the drive. Into the maze, the back line went when Joe had a sudden call of nature. Yes, Joe needed to drop his trousers and take a dump during the drive.
That's a good one. Joe's Dump.
We have a drive called Death Valley. We brave the necessary
You're malfunctioning today.
What is that? But it doesn't even make sense.
It's probably a Somerset
We brave
word.
and Whoa. What's that word?
Necessity.
Necessarily. Is that a word?
Oh my God. Necessarily. Are you all right? You don't know what the word necessarily is? Can't believe. Hang on. Get that one. Clip that up. Sarah just had to educate Celine on a word that was actually quite a simple one. How did you say it?
What is it?
No, you say it again.
I don't, because I've got a different word in my head, so I'm enunciating it on the wrong bit, and now my brain's just gone wrong.
Necessarily.
Necessarily. Wow. Okay, I'm going to start that one again.
It's a term for the books. Love this.
We had a drive called Death Valley. We brave and necessarily... Yeah?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like a word.
Just keep reading.
We brave and necessarily inebriated beaters. Oh, I see. I get it now. Right, hang on. We have a drive called Death Valley. We brave and
Do you want me to read it? You don't like the word necessarily, do you?
No.
What would you use instead of necessarily?
I don't know.
Do you have a posh, out there French meaning that you would use?
I always take a deep breath now. We have a drive called Death Valley. We brave and necessarily inebriated beaters move into the valley with guns to the left of us and guns to the right of us. 8 barrels either side with guns, having already been suitably relaxed by many slowgasms, Prosecco and slow gin, at 11s, Beat is not feeling that safe or confident about survival, into the jaws of death, into the mouth of hell, beat the 600. Golly,
You struggled with that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
I feel like you ruined that story.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm very sorry, Anthea, but could you just not ever put that word in that? I don't know what happened. I can say that word. I know that word. But, yeah.
Well, Anthea has made my day because I just had to help you read. I turn up for the books.
I think I maybe have had a stroke. This time, maybe it's real.
Have you got mental health problems?
I think I have,
Do you need to seek help?
I do need to seek help quite quickly. So, confessions and questions. And the question this week is, first season with a young dog, expectation versus reality. Wow. Well.
Depends what sort of person you are. I expect the worst.
Oh, nice.
I
always,
like this. Well, you should know by now. I turn up. The dogs are shit. They're a pain in the arse. They're not listening to me. It's going to go really wrong. I think you've got to set yourself up like that, personally.
Yeah.
And then
I like this.
It probably will go wrong. But that's fine because you knew it was going to go wrong.
And how wrong will it go? Probably not as bad as you thought.
Potentially not.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that's my motto. I think you go in with a bit more. It's going to be fine. It's going to be wonderful.
I go in with having to stop midway to the shoot to basically go to the loo because I'm so nervous in a ditch somewhere because I'm going, oh my God, this is going to be terrible and
It's
everyone's going to be
horrible
looking
taking
at
a
me.
new dog out, isn't it?
I'm paranoid. I'm like, it's going to start screaming, it's going to whine, it's going to run away, it's going to get stuck in a fence, it's going to end up in the beating line. All of these different things. It's going to start arguing with the dog in the car.
Yeah.
Most of these things I've actually never really experienced.
And I feel like you should be less nervous because you're going to your own shoot.
No, because
I feel like if there's anywhere for it to go wrong, it should be on your own shoot.
I think that's worse.
Well, who's going to tell you off? You?
Nobody, but I feel like everyone looks at me thinking that I actually know what I'm doing. And I don't think that people realise I actually don't. I'm just winging it like everybody else.
Yeah. I think a sensible answer is don't psych yourself up so much. You know what I mean? Don't go in thinking, oh my God, it's got to be perfect. It hasn't got to be perfect.
No.
It is your dog's first day out. If you can go out, always go to the back of those drives. Don't go up behind the guns where all the birds are dropping. You know, I always say do not set a dog up to fail. So go to the back of the drives where it's less busy, less stuff going on.
And it's less overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you can also walk away. If you are a field away from those guns and your dog does start to kind of get a bit tetchy or won't sit still or does whine or something,
you can just walk away.
You can start doing a bit of distraction because you can start wandering around that field. If you're stood in the gun line, you are, basically.
And I also think maybe mention to the person, like I always tend to say, hey, can I come out on a day where I'm not necessarily being paid, or you've got loads of pickers up, so if it all goes wrong for me, it's not the end of the world if I disappear. Because then you have got that option to go, do you know what, I've done 1 or 2 drives, I think that's enough. Yes. I can see it now starting to go the wrong way, so I'm going to call it a day there. Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, don't go out with a, oh, I need the dog to do all day and it has to sit still all day and it can't make a sound all day and you have to give the dog some leeway. It's his first day out.
So I think on the first day out, I normally would make sure that I try and take a dog that knows what it's doing, because then if a runner does come near me, then I can send that other dog. I'm not going to be sending a young dog on runners.
I don't have one of those. That knows what it's doing. Mine are kind of all just winging it.
Yeah, fine. But I would probably just try and make sure that I had another dog. If I was in a situation where it was my first dog, then I would make sure that I definitely wasn't getting paid, like you say. And there was no expectation of me. Because to stand somewhere where you know that you've got to achieve X, Y, Z is a non-starter.
And it's too much stress. Yeah.
And I think that during those first days and then that first season, I would be looking for patience. I would probably only give them a retrieve if I'd set it up, if I'm honest. I think initially I'd be looking at putting a pheasant down and just effectively just doing a quick memory. Yeah. Just says, this is why we're here. You've had your reward. You sat nicely. You've got this. Not one where you've got 3 or 4 pheasants in a field where they just don't know what to do and they're mind blown and they're going to swap.
Pick swap.
Nothing that's moving, nothing that's alive. that's what either your other dog is for, or again, if it's your first time out, then you are sort of right out the back, and it's what other people are for. And then for me, I've said this every time, I'm a slow starter. So Yaffle will be out this year. She will be, what will she be? Heading towards 18 months, pretty much 18 months when the season starts.
A puppy, obviously, very much a puppy. I will not take her out the first couple of days because I find them stressful. I've got to get in the swing of things. I've got to, we've got a couple of new drives. Are you going to take her out near the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
I will take her out at some point in October, I think. But
I need to crack on.
Well, I haven't. We're not actually trained yet. We'll worry about that later.
Okay.
But I think it will be within a parameter. This would be my goal. If I could take her out once in October within the parameter that there's enough people there that they can pretty much do it, and I'm going to go right out the back. We're going to watch. She's going to maybe have one memory. Not a lot's going to happen. Everything's going to be as controlled as I can. I'll take my steadier dogs with me so that I know I've got a degree of control, not my ravens. And then as time goes on, she will really, like Tweed spent her entire first year out the back. Yeah. She didn't see a gun line. She didn't get within 100 odd meters of a gun. We just did not go there. I felt like she was quite keen, quite busy, quite go-y, and I thought it would blow her brains. River, straight up the front within a month or so. Yeah. Just a different dog.
Just depends on the dog, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yaffle's not that kind of dog.
Same with Drake. I mean, my God, I was sent that dog from heaven. I think at about 9-10 months old, and I know people are going to scream at this for this, he sat on peg with me while I shot. He was just the dream dog. He didn't move. He didn't go anywhere. He did everything I asked him to do. He was just, I'll never get that again. And I would never dream of doing it with any of my dogs now. But he was just so easy.
Yeah. And I think you have to, so your one's expectation changes with the dog in that sense as well. But for me, what I would call active picking up is season 2. So my expectation is that season 1 does not result in an active picking up dog. That's where season 2 comes in. Season 2, the dog is now an active picking up dog. Season 3, the dog is a valued member of the team. That's how I build up. So last year, Tweed was an active picking up dog. This year, Tweed will be a valued member of the team. Tweed will be one of the ones that I start to pick first. Yeah. Whereas Tweed was one of the ones, even last year, that I would be sending a dog that I knew I had more confidence in, and she would have selected retrieves. Yeah. And now I'm not going to be second guessing myself. Tweed will get whatever I deem fit at the time because she's marked it or whatever, rather than saying, oh, that's a slightly more complicated one. Oh, I'll leave that one for someone else. And for me, it's a build up, and it really is a 3-season process.
Do you let them, so you say like Yaffle will stay out the back, just get like a memory retrieve or something. Do you let her sweep through at the end?
So
like drive's finished, you're then pushing for, does she stay on the lead, or would you just let her off with all the dogs?
On those first couple of days, the beginning days, if she would really stick with me, that would be my goal. When we then, if I deem that she is not whingy and whiny and she's being sensible and all of those sorts of things, and she's held her head, and when I do let her off, she's recalling well, then I would maybe put her into the odd hedge and say, right, you can go in here. Am I going to let her off in the middle of a woodland? Probably not going to push my luck on that one. Am I going to let her off near a pen? Not a chance. Yeah. Because she's a young dog and she's got to learn all of those parameters. And I suppose...
And again, not setting her up to fail. Yeah. It could be overwhelming and exciting for her, so let's not overdo it and create a problem.
And I will also position myself as far away as possible from other people where I can, which is where it comes into if it's your first dog or, it's not your shoot, or you can say, I would like to come along and I would like to bring my dog, but actually can I not be paid this day? And can I just go and stand X? You then don't need to stand next to the person that's got 5 spaniels that are running amok, because all it's going to do is wind your dog up. Why am I sat here and these spaniels are literally running past my face and doing all these things? You can say, I'm going to position myself next to, old steady Sally over there, where I've got a much better role model for my dog and everything's a bit calmer, rather than old, Pete that's out there screaming his head off at jaunty that's done a runner.
What we've established is when I bring Thea out this year, can I come and stand with you and your dogs, please? Confessions and questions. So we have a couple here to read out. I'm going to go first. A very still morning, frosty, silent. I shifted my stance as I attempted what I believe would be a modest, discreet adjustment of internal pressure. It was not modest.
That is a really good description. I like that.
It was not modest. It echoed. It travelled. And it also had a tone. The gun next to me calmly said, "Good depth in that one." I missed the next 3 birds due to psychological collapse.
I think I would have too.
I like that one.
Wow.
Good depth in that one.
Wow. So somebody says, now then, ladies of the podcast, I have just been listening to your podcast and went back a few episodes and have a confession/drive name you might find slightly entertaining. Ooh. It was a warm August morning, my first season on my new beat. Palmer, the head keeper, had shown me this long hedge, our boundary to the next door shoot. At the start of the hedge is a lacklustre spinney, so I set off dogging in. Over the next few days, I get acquainted with my beat, and one morning it's game time. Birds everywhere, they're all out for a walk. I've had a heavy breakfast to get me through the morning, and I need to go, but there is no time. I carry on, testing out my driving quad bike and clenching arse cheek technique. I'm at the end of said long hedge, and it's game time. I can't hold it anymore. I'm flat out, spaniel's ears flowing like Cornish waves, and my butthole cutting shapes like a raver on acid in the 80s. It's then I decide on the spinney. That is my spot. I entered the spinney, and before I could stop, I had dismounted, picked my tree, and checked the right-hand side trouser pocket, where I have some toilet roll. Orange human-grade excrement, oh my God, has peppered the tree like a flock of starlings. I felt better, but this is not the end. A white Hilux pulls up. I don't recognise the driver nor the truck. I pull my trousers up and the driver says, "I'm the keeper from next door, fella. You can't be here, it's ours." My reply was quite simple. "Sorry, mate, I was bursting," and tilted 90 degrees to my left to expose the shit-stained tree. Many conversations and phone calls later about the new beatkeeper with IBS were made in the background, and thus creating a new drive for the shoot next door called the Shitty Spinney. Oh my God.
Oh no, it wasn't even on his shoot.
Oh my God.
How embarrassing.
Can you imagine?
It was the description of the colour for me. That was a bit much.
Oh dear. That's not cool.
Oh, wow. How embarrassing.
Imagine being that person.
I think being caught's one, but being caught by next door keepers even worse, isn't it?
Well, being caught by next door keepers. Do you remember that time this year when we were doing we were shooting a drive on, wasn't Beaters Day, but it was the end of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was right back. So we had permission on this patch of ground that we were allowed to pick up on it. And we could stand guns for one of the drives. We could pick up as much as we liked. But no, he didn't actually want us to have a cover crop. And so I'm stood on this patch of ground, and there's shots from our guns, and I'm like 3 fields back from them because some of these birds take this spinny along, and suddenly there's shots from next to me, and I was like, what the hell is that?
Have we lost a gun to the wrong place?
Well, it turns out this bloke from down in the village who knows the landowner, who I know from another shoot, actually know this person. I mean, if you think this is outrageous, you need to send us in a comment, is shooting our birds on the neighbouring patch of ground. So I go down, I won't say his name, climb through the river, walk up the other side. I'll call him John. And I go, "Hi, John. Interesting to see you here." Well, I think we can safely say he went beetroot red. And I said something about, "Oh, interesting to see you here, just shooting just over the boundary." Talking about boundaries. And he's like, he looked bright red. He's even taken his freaking dog with him to pick the birds up.
Hang on, but this was after somebody else rang him to see where he was because they had a suspicion. And he said, "Yes. Oh, I've got to go, I'm at work."
Because I said, I reckon it's bloody John. I go on the radio, I reckon it's John shooting in the field next door. And then on that shoot where we are, the one of the other pickers up employs this person, rang John and said, where are you? He said, I'm at work. Absolute freaking liar. I climbed down, go up the other side of the bank, and I said, well, you know, at the end of the day, what you're doing is entirely legal, but I'll be entirely honest.
It's a little
what
bit shit.
A piss take.
Yeah.
Like, this is, you know, it is legal. You are on your own boundary, but man alive, there's like, you know, being decent and there's being a bit chopsy. And then he goes, well, at the end of the day, you're now over the boundary. I mean, let's just say
It's a shitty thing to do, isn't it?
he won't be invited to picking up now. I had invited him picking up before.
Can you imagine just standing the other side of the hedge to a shoot and just watching the birds come over and just shooting them all as they come over? Like, you just wouldn't have the audacity to do it, would you?
He was literally like 20 yards off the boundary as well. He was against the boundary on one side, and he said, well, the boundary, when you've come to talk to me, is the river. It's like, right, but I just come to have a chat with you, John, because you're literally shooting our birds, and this is all a bit awkward. Yeah. So on that bombshell, we'll leave that one with you. Basically, I feel like the general gist of this podcast...
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. We don't need these people in our lives.
I'll tell you what, come back to us in a couple of weeks and tell us how much better your life is from doing the don't be a dick policy.
Don't be a dick policy.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, on that note, if you're not a dick, please leave us a 5-star review. Please leave us a 5-star review. Please send us some of your confessions, your questions, your stuff, your write-ins, anything that's inspired you that you think, oh my God, I need to get in there. I need to teach them this. I need to set the record straight.
Educate us as well. We don't know everything. Send us some educational stuff.
I mean, we're women.
We know, yeah, Gemini. I'm trying to get them to write stuff in.
Okay, write stuff in because
we only know 98% of things.
Yeah.